Okay, so once again, welcome everyone. This is the part 4 in which we solve the Codeforces Round 1032 Division 3. And here there are the two problems which I solved. The first is a letter home, which is the part A of the problem. And this is the question in the front of you. You can pause the screen and read throughout. So let us explain me how the question states on this. The input, that's how the input are created, and the output must be written in the form of 0, 1, 1, 2, 3. And after reading the question, you need to go throughout the note that in the first test case, no step need to be taken on, so the only visited position will be a 1. But how? Let me say this. After reading the question, I can you mark the the first basic a best point from the question, that the question in the where we see the point like this. In the first test case, we see a 1, 2, in the third case first, and the fourth case 1. So these are the point in which you are standing. Like in the x-axis, if you are on the first position, then where we have to move in the first position. So our displacement is already 0. That's why we need to travel only 0 distance. The output is a 0. Same for the second test case. The 2 means if you are standing on the second point, then you have to move to the first point. And after moving 2 to 1, you just need to travel the 1 meter distance. That's why the output is also in the form of 1 meter. And same in the third test case. If we are standing on the 1, we move to the second point. We need to travel just to only 2 meters. Sorry, 1 meter. Okay. And here are the tests, the notes in which we see the second test case, as I explained you on the previous videos. In the third test case, the following path can be taken 1 to be the number of the steps is 1. So basically we need to print the steps, which is in the form of digits. And we also see the fifth test case, the following path can be taken 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. The number of steps is 3. And basically we need to do a very a minimum path to cover the distance, or we need to a minimum path to reach the goal. And we have to just go throughout every possible numbers which is written in the input. Like in the last test case, we see the 6, 6, and the numbers are written in the like of 1, 2, 3, 9, 10, and 11. So these are the number in which we must have to visit through solving the question. And okay, so I hope you read it carefully. The first line of input is already said. Each test case consists of the multiple test case. The first line contains a single integer, which is t, which is obviously a test case. And the second line, the first line of each test case contains a two integer n of n and s. So n basically tells that the how many numbers are written in the second line. Like n is a 1, and the second line there the only one digit. That's why the n are written in the form of 1. And if we see the last test case, the n is a 6, and there are how many numbers are written in the second line? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these I hope you explain. You see that what is the n, and after see the what is the s. So s is the in the right of an n. S is the basically in which position you have standing in the x-axis, to which you go through the second point or third point, whatever question says and whatever input says. So here are the inputs and here are the outputs. Let me see the code. And the code is this. So after including the header file, including a bits std c++.h, and after using a using namespace std, I use a using ll equals to long and then int main. After applying this is used for the faster code execution, and I take an input o, and after taking an input, I just used a while loop for the operation to become to test almost all the test cases of the code. And after taking the integer n and s, and after input them, I tell you what is the n and what is the s. After that, we take a vector which is of the data type integer, and the vector is named x, and apply the for loop to print the all possible cases of the x. So after applying I equal to 0 to I equals to n, and we input all the x. Like in the last case, you see the 6, 6, and the after the second line 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, and whatever the question say. After that, we have a new variable which name a start, and we denote a start is equal to x index 0. Means we take a start equal to a starting point of a vector, and we take a end equal to x n minus 1 x index n minus 1 means the last point of the vector. If the first point is the first, in the last test case, the last point I maybe think that the last is 13. So the last is 13 means start equals to 1 and end equals to 13. And after that we take an answer. In the answer we apply this formula. This formula is a very useful for solving these types of questions. And n minus star plus minimum of absolute of s minus star. So what is the s? S is this point where you are standing and you have to go to the next point. So these are the x points. Like, you know, we after applying the for loop, we just print all the possible cases of the x, like in which node we have to travel and which node we don't have to travel, like that. And after applying this, you can verify your answers after putting some values into this formula. And then after we just see out the answer and return 0. And this is the most optimal solution of this question, and I hope you understand. So okay, so this is for today's. Meet you in the next video.